Hello class, and welcome to another video for this week. Today we're going to introduce a new topic. This is something we haven't worked on before yet, so don't feel a little bad if it's a little rusty when you're trying to explain it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just write my name, because we just always write our name in our classroom. And I'm going to go ahead and read the directions really quickly. Directions: rewrite each sentence correctly. Begin each sentence with a capital and add punctuation. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to explain what a capital letter and a period is. So a capital letter is something that we use to start a sentence. So the first word of our sentence is Ben, and you can sound it out so that way they can learn B-B-E-N. And we want to talk about how Ben is a name. Anyone's name is going to be a capital letter. So I'm going to go ahead and circle that. And I'm just using different colors so I can show you what I'm doing. And I'm just going to put a B. Now, I know this concept may come a little confusing at first because we're just introducing it, but this is just for practice, and we're going to get more into this as we come back to school. So I'm going to change Ben to a capital B. And I noticed that we have another name. We have Ben and Mel. Mel is a name as well, so I'm going to circle the M, and I'm going to put a capital M. Or you can always say uppercase, because a lot of our students understand uppercase and lowercase. Are going to a field trip. And we're going to go ahead and put a period. Now, a period is punctuation that is always at the end of a sentence. So right now, if you want to just practice circling and adding the period, you can do that first. So we have, for number 2, they are going to the farm. So if you wanted to, you just go ahead and circle they, or the letter T, and you just put a capital T here, and you're going to add your period at the end. They are very excited. So I'm going to go ahead and circle they. I'm going to add my period. I'm going to put a capital T. Ben wants to see the cows. I'm going to go ahead and circle the B for Ben, because not only is it a name, but it is the first letter in a sentence. Always make sure that no matter what letter or name that you start with in a sentence, always make sure it's a capital letter. Now, I know this is going to take some time. This is just, like I said, we're just introducing it. So Mel wants to see the horses. I'm going to circle M to make it a capital letter, and I'm going to add my period. So this was some great practice. That way they can circle and learn how to recognize. They can use their finger, and that's really going to help them get better at this when it comes with more practice. Now we're going to go ahead and rewrite our sentence on the line here. And I'm just going to use purple. That way you can see it a little better. So I'm going to start with Ben and Mel are going on a field trip. Now, if you run out of space on your line, that's totally okay. Just keep it going. I know these might look a little small, but like I said, we're just introducing it. It does not have to be perfect. So we have Ben and Mel are going on a field trip, period. So I'm going to start with my capital letter for they are going to the farm, period. Number 3, they are very excited. I'm going to put my capital letter for they. I'm going to end with my period. Ben wants to see the cow, so I'm going to start with my capital B, because Ben is a name and also it's the first letter in the sentence. And you don't have to use a marker. You can use a colored pencil or a pencil. That works as well. I'm just using a marker just so you can see it a lot more clearly. Mel wants to see the horses. So I'm going to start with a capital M for Mel because it's a name and the first letter in the sentence. Now, what I loved about this exercise is that it gives me a checklist at the bottom, so you can go ahead and review this with your student or your child. So it says, I used capital letters. You can go back and make sure that you use capital letters. You can give it a check. I use spaces, so I have spaces in between my letters, and I use punctuation, so I have my periods. And you can even color the pictures and make it your own. And just go ahead and practice reading the sentences. We do have some sight words in here, so I know some of our students will be able to recognize some of those.